Hey there, Synth Drones. Today we're going to be talking about the new Fantom from Roland. Hi, I'm Pure Ambient Drone. This is my channel where I vlog about synthesizers. If you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button, tap the bell, keep up with all of my synth adventures because I couldn't do this without you. PureAmbientDrone.com is the place you want to be if you want to check out all the places I'm involved in. Woo! PureAmbientDrone.com. See you over there. Man, I'm excited. Hey, it's been a long time since I've been in front of this camera, and I've been moving for those of you who are new to the channel or haven't been keeping up, and you should be keeping up. But yeah, I've been moving, and I have moved, and getting my new studio set up. It's not 100% just yet, but I've been working really, really hard. But I have a good excuse why it's not 100%. I went ahead and I got myself the Fantom, and I got the Fantom 7, which just means, you know, the 76 key version of it. I kind of thought, man, I am never going to buy another digital synthesizer. But nah, man, I got to tell you what, the Fantom 7 has everything I am looking for. Workflow, sound-wise, quality. And no, Roland didn't give me a free Fantom. I paid for this out of my own pocket. I don't get endorsements. Not yet. It would be great, right? But no, seriously speaking, the Fantom 7, I have been already making tunes with it, and I've been kind of neglecting all of my toys back here because the Fantom 7 is so loaded. Now, I know what you're thinking. Man, play something for us, Pad. Play something. But you know what? Honestly, there are videos out there that you can go check out and listen for yourself what this thing can do. But for right now, I just want to tell you guys that this is a fantastic machine. It is worth every penny that Roland is asking for. Not everyone's going to agree with that. I'm not making the statements here that Roland's analog emulations are going to take the place of real analog. It is my opinion that in many cases, but not all cases, digital will not be able to replace analog, and analog will not be able to replace digital. And that's why we have these hybrid synthesizers that are coming out on the market, especially in the last couple of years, I should say. We've seen more digital hybrids with analog digital mixed in. Now, this Fantom is not a hybrid. It's 100% just like digital, right? But with that being said, it does have an analog filter, and the analog filter sounds really great. So maybe you could say it is a hybrid, okay? I will tell you this, it is loaded with presets. It is loaded with great sound quality, and I think it sounds a lot better. This is operating off the Zen core, which from my understanding means the AMD processor, okay? So I think it sounds better than the Supernatural. There was something about the Supernatural that just didn't vibe with me. I think it was too clean. It was too pristine. I'm not saying that the Fantom 7 isn't pristine and clean, but there's a warmth to it, a nice coloration to the sound coming out of this box. And you can load it up. Here's a couple of questions I had. So maybe I can answer them for you. On the Fantom 7, you can load this into your computer. You can hook it up via USB. And then using their driver, you can hook it into your DAW, and you can have 32 input slots. So the 32 is left and right for the 16 channels, 16 tracks. So you can have a left and right, or you can have a mono for each track that you want to do. Now, here's the important thing to think about. When you're going through USB, I believe that's one of the cleanest ways to record. So if you like to use preamps or compressors or any outboard gear with your synthesizers, it still has the analog outs on the back of the synthesizer, but you've only got a set of 2 of those. You got the main outs, and then you got the subs out. So you're not going to get all 16 tracks out, which would actually be like really crazy for Roland to have done that. But it also would have been really great for those who want to run all of their channels through analog gear, which I thought that would be really cool to kind of like run it all through. But that's a lot to ask for, but maybe not. I mean, this is a 3000 plus synthesizer, so there's a lot gone into the box already. But you know, getting back to yes, so you can record your tracks straight over to the USB, and you can do 16 stereo tracks at the same time, which is totally awesome. Now, I have the Roland FA06, and the Roland FA06 had a ability that you could compose inside the box. And then when you were done composing inside the box, what you could do is you could compile all your music down into one stereo track. I'm talking about the FA06 here. And then you can also have the choice of compiling all of those tracks down into individual stems, which is what I really liked doing, because then I could port over to my DAW and I could mix drum track, piano track, synth track, whatever track separately, and EQ each one individually in pan if I needed to, and all of that great stuff. That was really cool. And you could have done all of that as well in the FA06. There was a lot of options for EQing and panning as well, and you could have compiled that down. From what I have gathered so far, and I haven't had this very long and haven't had a lot of time with it because of the move, the Fantom 7 doesn't seem to have the ability to compile into waveforms. And that's what I was meaning with the FA06. You could compile your song down into wave format and then port it out. It does have the ability to send everything out and compile it down into MIDI and save MIDI songs. So you can work on your track and come back to it later. The disappointment of the the lack of wave compiling for me is that, this is kind of like a step back from the FA06. And again, I could be wrong because I haven't really explored this enough, but I haven't seen anything in the manual. So if anybody knows what I'm talking about is available in the Fantom 7, please leave a comment below and explain it to us further on more information or whatever you have to offer. So that's the main difference that I've seen with the FA06. Plus, I think the sound quality is really a lot better. There is some incredible emulations in here going on with things like the Juno series of synthesizers from Roland's past. And I think that for the most part, it really nails some of the vintage synthesizers that they're trying to emulate inside this box. And for me, it's close enough because it sounds great. It sounds fantastic. And I've really fallen in love with this machine. I did sell an item or two. I sold the Poly Evolver, which is something that I thought I would never, ever do in a billion, trillion years. And I do miss it, but I have the Quantum still. And I thought with the Quantum and the Poly Evolver, I was just overlapping way too much. And the Poly Evolver wasn't getting a lot of love. So I sold that to my great friend, Matt, who is a proficient musician, and he's actually a drummer, if you guys want to hear all this. And he's switching over to the world, or has switched over to the world of synthesis. And so it went to a great home. Another synthesizer that I'm going to be unloading is the Juno 6 back here. I have the Juno 106 original. The Juno 6 is great. I love it. But it's time for the Juno 6 to go. I've used it on some tracks already, and I never went with the MIDI with that, by the way. I was meaning to put the MIDI into it, but I never got to doing that. But I'm thinking with the Juno 106 and then the DeepMind 12, I have enough Juno sounds to last me for quite a while. Plus, I have a new synthesizer that's on its way, and I would love for you guys to leave a comment guessing what synthesizer that is. I am downsizing a bit in my arsenal because I do have the Fantom 7, and it fills in a lot of the blanks that I've been looking for. As far as the sequencing and the composing of music, it really does a fantastic job. It's just incredible, the workflow I've been looking for, and the options for sequencing for the Fantom 7 just blows my mind. I just don't want to keep my hands off of it. And, when I first got it and I started composing on it, and listening to the quality, I just can't talk enough about the sound quality. To my ears, it sounds very analog. In its own way, guys, in its own way. Okay, I'm not saying this thing is going to take over modular or anything like that. You know, I've always said that there is a big difference between analog and digital, and they're both fantastic differences. So this Phantom 7 has made a really great effort in marrying the two sounds and coming up with something that I think is actually a very fantastic workstation. So if it's something that you guys can afford, you might want to explore into looking into the Phantom 7 if you're composing music and you want something with workflow that's really going to make it easy on you. Well, anyways, that's what I want to talk about with the Phantom 7, and I know I'm going to get nailed by you guys saying, you didn't play it, you didn't play it. I'd like to do a sound demo, but honestly, guys, when I do sound demos, I don't get a lot of people watching them or interest in them. And I think it's because my audience just likes to hear me talk about what I think about these things. And I love all of you guys, and I love discussing this stuff with you guys. So I would like for you guys to leave some comments below. Tell me what you guys think and what you know about the Phantom 7. And don't forget pureambientdrone.com. You got all the connections to where I'm at on the internet over there. And until next time, keep calm and synth on.